Good morning, my neighbors! Hey, fuck you! Yes! Yes! Fuck you too!
But who's the hardest to deal with in the morning?
Oh, yeah. Kitty.
Girl, very seriously.
But Kitty is, God damn it, man. Sometimes you just want to knock the shit out of her, but you can't. You can't. Hell yeah,
You can hear the crowd sing along. Everybody know my songs. Had the crowd learn to walk. Country girl, small town. 14 years dedicated. Look, ma, I finally made it. Never thought I'd ever say it, but today I live my dreams. Bodyguards protecting me. Crazy fans, loud screaming, flashing lights on every scene. Autographs, lots of pictures, signs that say we love you, kitty. Superstar, my new status, fantasizing. Please don't wake me. Let me finish with this dream. Don't wake me up. Please don't let me leave. Just bought a house, 50 rooms, move my granny out the hood, pay my tithes like I should. LG, life good, expensive cars, expensive clothes, king go to private school, Jordan Nike what he want, just because mommy's boss. See you later, no worries, baby. Mariana, ain't it banking? Never thought.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What you got up in your cup? It is Kitty Pink Radio. This is Coffee with Kitty. I know the last couple of shows there have been like some slow shit going on, and I just want to say I am not the only one. All the other podcasters that I listen to this week have been having problems with StreamYard, so it is not a technical difficulty because of me, but more so because StreamYard need to get their shit together. So y'all get be patient with me throughout the show. It's definitely not a complication on my end. This is StreamYard. They obviously don't want their $50 this month. Anyway, how y'all doing? I hope everybody's having a good morning, a good start off. First off, we're gonna start with the weather, of course. Throughout the weekend, we're gonna see highs of 93 and a low of 75. So yeah, once again, it's gonna be a hot ass weekend in sunny sundown Texas. Last night I was talking about Lil Boosie, and I did not. We went through the whole show, and it was just a whole hour with everything that I was discussing on that particular show, and I really didn't get too deep off into everything else that I wanted to. So we're gonna talk some more about Boosie and his visit to the Breakfast Club on today, but more so, I want to start off with Sha'Carri, and I want to say to that young lady, sweetheart, we are behind you. I love the fact that you try to put a face on for the cameras, and but somebody get a hold to that baby and get her some PR. That's I don't understand why it's such a big need in Hollywood or with celebrities or public figures. I think everybody has basically cut out the middleman. And so now you're more so, I'll put it like this. When I started in music as an artist, I had a PR before I had a manager. And the reason I had a PR before I had a manager is because they control your image. And I think that the celebrity pool is lacking right now because there are so many people who have just been thrown into those positions and they don't know anything about PR. PR is public relations. That's the person who tells you, hey, don't post this or post that. They basically babysit your grown ass. And a lot of these celebrities and public figures need somebody to babysit their fucking asses because they end up looking a way to the society, to the public. And once you go to look at a way to the public, y'all know these folks will cancel your culture. Y'all got to stop playing with these people if they're the ones that are writing your checks. Because if they are the ones that are writing your checks, then that means that they control your money. And they can definitely cancel you and control you. You know, that was one of the things last night I said that I liked about the conversation on the Breakfast Club with Lil Boosie is he was basically like, look, these folks can't cancel me. I throw my own situations. I write my own checks. So at the end of the day, they ain't canceling a damn thing. And that's why I was saying when it comes to the baby or whoever else out there on their platform wants to say what the fuck they want to say, y'all need to make sure that you're writing your own checks. That's the only way any of this is going to work out, is if y'all are writing your own checks. If you feel like you should be able to say whatever the fuck you want to say, write your own checks. Now let's get on Beyonce and Jay-Z. There has been so much. Beyonce did a tribute to Audrey Hepburn. A lot of y'all don't even know who Audrey Hepburn is. Let me hip y'all the game. She's a classic Hollywood actress. And the scene that Beyonce and Jay-Z were trying to portray was that from Good Morning from Tiffany. I think that's the name of the show. Good Morning for Tiffany. Charge that to my head, not my heart. Charge it to my age. I'm getting older. But Breakfast at Tiffany's, that was the name of it, because that was one of the sounds that I used to use over there on Spotify. Hey, Spotify, good morning to you guys. But everybody was basically had so much to say about the blood diamond, the diamond that Beyonce wore, and oh my God, you know, she's supposed to be Black Pride, and she's supporting this diamond. Those kids over there in Africa die from these diamonds, for mining and with them diamonds, and they don't get paid a whole bunch. I done already told y'all. I done had it up to here with y'all and y'all fake outrage. First of all, do y'all realize that those kids overseas, diamonds aren't the only things that they mine over there? There are things that we use on a daily basis that are part of why those kids are working 12-hour days for $3 and getting killed and being mistreated and working. It's practically slavery. But I don't hear nobody screaming and hollering and talking shit about this eyeshadow we be wearing. I don't see nobody screaming and hollering about you know, a lot of the things that we use our cell phones and shit for. Y'all don't scream and holler about none of that shit. Y'all just grasp hold. Like I told y'all are followers. It ain't too many leaders out here, and that's why the world is going to shit, because a lot of people in society are followers. They don't have anything to show up for, what the fuck ever. But yeah, I got ahead of myself. Back to Sha'Carri. She shaded Allison Felix, which is one of the Jamaicans that was in the race, and she shaded the Jamaicans. A lot of people are talking shit to her, and you know, y'all know me. I like to flip the coin on its other side and look at it too. I'm behind Sha'Carri 100%. However, I just want her to stop with the shady antics, because that's making her look bad. She needs PR. She needs somebody who is going to protect her image, because she out here looking bad. But a lot of people were talking Cash Money shit about Sha'Carri, and old girl probably said something. Old girl said something nice about her, and she steady acting out with this attitude, blase, fucking blase. Y'all don't know. Let me tell y'all something about people throwing rocks and hiding hands. I've been a motherfucking victim of that shit my goddamn self. People will act a certain way in front of public, in front of the people, and they'll be acting some way behind the cameras. I feel like that there was something that triggered Sha'Carri to say what she said. And I really do feel like, It's a possibility that they didn't leave everything on the field, on the track and field. Like the beef, you know, maybe old girl thought to herself, you know, I don't want to get too far off into that conversation. I don't want to say too much about Sha'Carri. So if I do say anything about Sha'Carri, it's going to be something nice. And old girl did say something nice. It wasn't shady or anything, but me, a lot of people was dogging her, but me, I be looking at everything. And I just feel like those people from Jamaica was talking a lot of shit to that girl on that field. They was probably talking shit to her as to how they was finna smoke her ass. That's just what happens when you're playing sports. I mean, I thought I was too pretty to sweat and run and shit, but I did have a little bit of experience playing a particular sport. And I do know one time we went to a basketball game in Genoa. If anybody knows anything about Genoa is motherfucking racist as fuck. And we ended up going to this particular game, and them girls talked so much shit. They called us so many N-words and bitches, black bitches, and all type of stuff, to a point to where we ended up fighting them folks right there. And we ended up being named the troublemakers. Stamps Yellow Jackets. They the ones causing the problem. They are the problem. And them girls ended up basically getting away with the bullshit that they was doing on the court. That's why we ended up fighting them. For those of you who never understood what kicked off that fight or whatever, our parents knew, because that's another thing I don't understand. Like, if you know for a fact that these people that your kids are supposed to be playing, somebody should have been signing a petition. I don't want my child to go through that shit. This is no longer the Jim Crow era, and these kids should not be subjected to this bullshit. Those kids were still calling us niggers and bitches, black bitches, and bald-headed this, and just said all type of rude shit while we was on that court. And I said that to say, we don't know what them bitches said to Sha'Carri before they got on that track and field. I'm going to need people to stop and think for themselves sometimes. A lot of times people don't be thinking for themselves. They just be running along with the crowd. Whatever the media said, we're going to run with it. Y'all don't know what them girls said to Sha'Carri that day. And that may have had more of an influence on her dropping out of the race than the fact that she had lost. One thing about anything, any type of competition, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. And I do believe that Sha'Carri is a sore loser. But at the same time, whenever you do lose, you're supposed to, what happened to good sportsmanship? Did y'all want her to run out there and take off her clothes and throw her motherfucking track shoe? That right there would have really iced the cake if she had been out there acting a goddamn fool after that race. And my thing is I've said it already, but I'll say it again. Y'all are concentrating more on Sha'Carri than the other black women that were a part of any of the Olympics or race. Whenever she got kicked out, me personally, I think that should have been that. That should have been that. It shouldn't have been no bad or good, which we already know. You can't dodge either one of that. These motherfuckers gonna talk about you whether you perfect or imperfect. These motherfuckers are just gonna talk about you. That's just the way society goes. But all I'm gonna say is Sha'Carri, I ain't saying, baby girl, you know, you gotta shut up or back down. Don't nobody know what them bitches said to you on that track and field. The reason you had the attitude towards her, like, because I felt the spirit of, nah, bitch, don't act nice now. You wasn't acting nice when we was in each other's face. Don't get on TV and get on this motherfucking radio or wherever you're doing your interview, and when asked about me, all of a sudden you got nice shit to say. I don't like people like that either. I don't like fake people. Sha'Carri is hood as fuck. That's why we rallied behind her so badly, because it's somebody from the hood. But whenever you are somebody from the hood, you got to remember that the representation is up to you. You know what I'm saying? You could go out here and show these people that, yeah, I'm from the hood. I got on the long Cardi B nails and I got on this different color weave, but I still know how to handle myself out here. I done told you I need to go ahead and get my motherfucking certificate and go ahead and help some of y'all. Y'all need some PR help bad as fuck out here. You don't realize that, you know, I know a lot of people see it as backing down or either basically going going against the grain and being a punk, but it's really not, y'all. It's saving your career when somebody is savaging your career when somebody else is writing your checks. You know, Nike can look at that and be like, okay, this little bitch is too cocky. I'm taking my endorsement back. You know, you cannot do what the fuck you want to out here. Prior to what y'all believe, I do apologize that you all were misleaded and misguided. And prior to what you believe, you cannot get out here and do what the fuck you want to just because you got a little change in your pocket. That is not how any of this works, ladies and gentlemen. Just like R. Kelly, which is where we're headed next. This is kind of something that I wanted to stay away from. I really don't find any type of gratification, satisfaction, no nothing when digging into R. Kelly. But last night, which is probably why I ended up falling asleep and not really digging any deeper for any other news. Last night, R. Kelly, I ended up going down a deep dark hole with this whole situation with R. Kelly. And as I was doing my research with R. Kelly, I felt, like I said, I ended up going down different avenues and I took a whole detour. And last night I said something interesting as to how people be trying to find a solution to a problem at the end of the snake, when you got to start at the head of that motherfucker. Whenever you kill a snake, what do you do? What do they say you do? Chop off his motherfucking head. And even though he's separated, do y'all know? Because if you chop off his tail, all he gonna do is go somewhere and heal himself and grow that motherfucker back. But if you chop off his head, you literally take life from him. A lot of problems and issues that we have in society today need to be they need to start at the tail end, at the head of the situation, because y'all keep attacking it from the tail end. Y'all basically starting with the result and trying to go backwards, and that's not how we do this. We start at the head of the situation. And the reason I said all of that, y'all, I know y'all like make it make sense, Miss Kitty. Pedophilia, excuse me, y'all. Pedophilia has basically been how Hollywood has strived and survived, y'all. When I was coming up, I never could understand why my grandma would not want me to be famous and be an actress. And I want to thank her for protecting me, because, although I did experience some not so, great things while trying to, become who I am today, I guess you could say, it molded me. And more so I can be one of the people that gets on this microphone and genuinely and authentically speak about how motherfuckers normalize fucking around with little kids from day one. From day one. There are so many shows that I watch where I see, well, I ain't gonna say so many shows. If y'all know anything about the white underbelly with Mark, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name, but Mark helps a lot of people. He does his show. He goes down Skid Row and basically recruits different people to talk about real life situations. And we're talking about from prostitution to drug abusers to just homeless people out there on Skid Row in Los Angeles, California, and shit like that. And basically, he's interviewed a lot of prostitutes, and a lot of those girls' stories are quite similar. I noticed within those interviews that a lot of those babies started prostitution when they were just 11 years old. And it don't stop there. Like I said, I went down this deep dark hole just looking up information about the R. Kelly trial. And, it was normal for 14, 15, 16-year-old girls for these men to be fucking around with them at them ages in Hollywood. That boy Corey Feldman has been trying to tell y'all forever that some of the biggest pedophiles run the entertainment industry. And like I said, as I'm doing my little studying and shit, I'm going further and further into the deep dark rabbit hole and finding out that like this shit was normalized back then. And that's why you had people like Elvis Presley and whatever the other dude named Chuck Berry which was a black man, was even messing with little 13, 14-year-olds. I think sometimes we forget that 1960 something ain't that goddamn far from 2021. They really aren't. If you do the math, they really aren't that far apart, which means we are just now coming out of Jim Crow era. It means that we are just coming out of slavery. Like, y'all, this shit is still done and on crooked ass white people that, you know, hey, all this shit right here is tumbling down. Y'all, when they brung motherfucking slaves over here for slavery, do y'all not realize that those were not grown ass men and women? Those were the children of grown ass men and women. Think about it, y'all. Think about it. You think it would be easy just to capture some grown ass men and women and force them into a boat and get them over there? I'm sure there were. We don't hear about a lot of the takeovers where the slaves wasn't going. It's because those were children, y'all. Pedophilia is so deeply rooted that we get so caught up. We get so caught up in other situations, we don't realize just how deeply rooted pedophilia is. A lot of these people go to different countries. I even fell down that side of the deep dark hole. A lot of these people go to countries, foreign countries, where the kids don't speak their language, where the kids are very poor. And they offer them kids money to do, you know, to do God knows what. I listened to quite a few of those stories where little boys were like, yeah, the English man came and he bought me some things while we were out on the beach, and he was real nice to me. And then the next thing you know, we was in a room and he put some money on the bed and asked me, could he lick my balls? Y'all cry about a particular agenda all the time, but I don't even really feel like y'all understand what agenda it is that these motherfuckers are pushing and grooming us for. They've been grooming us since we were little girls. Since we were little boys, we've been groomed. And this grooming goes beyond the womb that even our little bodies came out of. Pedophilia is a really big deal. Pedophilia is one of the things that is basically making Hollywood richer and richer and richer. And y'all let me go check on my baby bacon and shit. I'll be right back.
I know you wasn't shit, but you were smooth. Knew how to lay it down, made me a fool. You had me in rotation, and I ain't like that. The toxic cycle, leave and come right back. And then there was one who loved to play the game. I chased the bag, he chased the bag, but he made all the plays. Intercepted my love, introduced me to his mother. What was it for? There was one, there was two, there was him, there was you. 5 of y'all and all of my lovers. A dream team for sure, but I need y'all to know I'm good now that I discovered these niggas. Oh, a shout to all these niggas, yeah. Held you down, should've left. All I ever needed was to love myself. Shout to all these niggas. Oh, I don't need these niggas. Held you down, should've left. All I ever needed was to love myself. I saw a future with my visionary, but it didn't last. Caught up in his past, yeah. He's so local, but I love him for real. He call it voodoo when he under my spell.
Friends be like, how come you not famous yet? I be like, you didn't share my shit. How come you ain't shared it yet? That's what I don't understand. That's why I'm not famous.
I know y'all was jamming to that, but I'm back at my seat. So, you know, I didn't burn the bacon. You know, the waffles are still in the maker. They doing they thug thizzle or whatever. I just had to flip them over. I got everything on low, y'all. Don't chill out. I know how to, I kind of know how to maneuver this shit just a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit, baby. But back to what I was saying. A lot of these queer white men who have, no, fuck that. A lot of these pedophile ass white men go to different countries and that they basically, prey on little boys. Coochie not even the value it used to be. Now these motherfuckers want flat out boys. They want little boys. It's crazy. And the reason I'm even having this conversation is because, you know, like I said, I started out with R. Kelly and I ended up with a whole other list of other names in Hollywood that have forever been fucking around with little girls. And nobody said anything back then because it's called an open secret. The open secret is you come to Hollywood, you want to be famous, you do what it takes to be famous. And if I just so happen to hold the key to a door that you're trying to enter and I want something from you, you have a choice of entering that door or not. Or so this is what the people are thinking. But basically, these people put you in a corner knowing that you want something so bad and knowing how vulnerable you are to make your dreams come true, that a lot of these motherfuckers do end up doing some weird ass shit. The agenda was never for the world to be gay, y'all. That's never been the agenda. And I've told y'all this since day one. That has never been the fucking agenda. Because like I said, as I'm going down this deep dark hole, not only am I hitting up pedophilia, but I'm coming into play with homosexuality. The homosexuality thing is basically all the rights that in equality are basically just to groom our children to make them think that it's okay for a grown-ass man to like you. Because why? Because homosexuality is okay. So it's okay for this man to touch me. He's a boy. I'm a boy. He likes me. I like him. Or so these kids be thinking. Kids don't really know what they're feeling. And a lot of times these are nasty ass, pedophile ass motherfuckers know that and they take advantage of that. One of the girls that was basically complaining about her experience in Hollywood was talking about how her manager, first of all, a grown ass man, y'all kids, y'all need to talk to y'all kids. And y'all need to explain to your kids that there are people out here that will do nasty shit like this. Because at the end of the day, you got to realize that as a younger person, I'm looking up to somebody who's older than me as a role model, is the authoritative. And if I'm looking up as them as being the ones that are in authority, then that means that I have to respect them, right? That means that if they tell me to do something, I may do that something. And not so much because I trust them wholeheartedly, but we're teaching our kids to respect their elders, right? See, a long time ago, old people used to have a problem with people not respecting their elders, but they never questioned as to why some of these young folks don't respect their elders. It's because a lot of people have been betrayed by the very same people who were supposed to have been taking care of them, looking out for them, or in authority of them. It's a fucking hard knock life out here because you really don't know who's nasty and who's not nasty. And just like this open secret has been protected and basically nurtured in Hollywood, we protect those open secrets in our communities. I know last night I had I had a little too much wine and I had began talking and saying too much. And they started knocking me off of air. And immediately, y'all, I can't be up here preaching. I got to practice what I preach. I have to basically find my own, which I do. I have a website, but it's hard to get y'all over there to the website. Yeah, I want to be on Facebook and Twitter and Periscope and the rest of this shit. Now, I will say on Twitch, shout out to my Twitch viewers. On Twitch, they allow me to express myself how I want to express myself without there being too much trouble or any consequences or what the fuck ever. But, I be talking some real shit over here. And y'all know it. That's why y'all wake up with me on Friday after you done listen to music with me all night Thursday, and you come up in this bitch on Tuesday, and you enjoy all my pop-ups and everything. Y'all know I be talking that real shit. But the realest shit that I'm gonna ever talk is about this. Anytime I got to cover this R. Kelly situation. This pedophilia shit didn't start with R. Kelly. R. Kelly's getting the shittier end of the stick because R. Kelly forgot to stay in his place. This shit has forever been an open secret in Hollywood. Everybody been fucking kids since day one. Let's be clear. California, Los Angeles, Hollywood, it's the home of the weirdos. We talk about Florida and how every time we get some news from for Florida or something happens in Florida, we already know like it's gonna be some old ghetto ass shit. And we all know this, but y'all don't pay too much attention to Hollywood. Y'all don't pay much attention to how kids end up growing up faster than what they supposed to whenever they get. And we're talking about these good old wholesome television networks. We're talking about Disney Channel and everything. Do y'all know how many of those kids were molested or touched or sexually assaulted? Or how many of those kids were being forced to date their managers? It may not make sense to some of you just coming on, but it makes plenty of sense because this is how R. Kelly was easily able to manipulate as many little girls as he was and get away with it for as long as he wanted to. We're starting at the tail end. R. Kelly is only the result of this open secret. He didn't start that shit by himself, y'all. He wasn't doing that shit by himself. Somebody had to show him that he could get away with that. And a lot of people in Hollywood show people daily that they can get away with particular shit. It just depends on your rank. It depends on your power. Just how much shit you can get away with. These pedophiles that Corey Fielder was talking about, he needed $10 million to make a movie so he could release the names of these motherfuckers and everybody. See, Corey didn't do it the right way. If you was really, which I understand where he's coming from, he does need protection after he let these names go. Because these obviously are some powerful ass men. These men aren't in the forefront. Y'all be looking for people in the forefront too much. And R. Kelly is basically just a doppelganger or whatever, however you say that word. They just dwindling him in front of y'all just so y'all can feel justified, just so you can feel like there's been some justice. Let's go after R. Kelly. Y'all forgot about Harvey Weinstein so quickly. We started concentrating on R. Kelly, kind of like y'all did Sha'Carri. Y'all focused more on her than the winners, the actual winners. I know that's a sick comparison, but at this moment, I'm on a roll. Just roll with me. But y'all treating R. Kelly like that. R. Kelly ain't the first, and he's not the last motherfucker that's been doing that shit over years. And at the end of the day, after we get through motherfucking prosecuting his ass, we need to go back and get all the people like his, like a motherfucker, the people that's working on his teams that then for a fact, if they fucking, if they go out in there and they do any type of talking, any type of testifying, they incriminate themselves. Those are the people that we need to go after. Because let's be clear, I'm listening to all the shit about Aaliyah, and it was a whole bunch of y'all that allowed that to happen to Aaliyah. God rest her soul. And I think it's so disgusting that people are taking an opportunity like her uncle Branderson, Mr. Branderson, whatever the fuck his name is. All of a sudden, this man been holding on to Aaliyah shit for 20-something years. The only way you can listen to an Aaliyah track is if you got an old school CD. But this man was holding on to Aaliyah music. But I find it real funny how he coincidentally decided to put it on digital platforms once all this shit about her and R. Kelly started spilling over. And I find it really, really interesting that her mother wants to come out with a book now. I want to know where this energy was when this girl was going through this shit. When this man was grooming her and making her feel some type of way like she was actually in love and like he was going to be with her forever. Aaliyah married R. Kelly. They had to force a marriage force, fraudulent, signed paperwork. So somebody would be able to tell to get this girl an abortion because this nigga done knocked her up. Nasty son of a bitch. Somebody allowed that to happen though. Where in the fuck was her uncle at? Where in the fuck was her mama and daddy? See, a lot of y'all be so excited about, y'all be so starstruck and shit like that, you'll sell your kids for that shit. Motherfuckers be thinking it's just drug abusers, crackheads and shit that sell their kids. Nah, it be you motherfuckers. Addiction is bigger than just drugs, first of all. Let me educate some of y'all, because some of y'all ain't as smart. Addiction is way bigger than just some type of drug, being addicted to a drug. Do you know that you could be addicted to wealth? You could be addicted to, that's why they say the root of all evil is the love of money. Y'all got that wrong. Y'all say the root of all evil is money. No, the fuck it's not. If you're going to quote it correctly. The love of money is the root to all evil. And the love of money can sometimes blind certain parents with their kids to where they sell their babies virginity, where they sell their babies innocence, for fame and wealth. A lot of people were living vicariously through their children. Some of y'all do that now. I waited long time, which I do. I mean, I can say that King has been around cameras and music and entertainment. It was in the child. He posed in the camera better than I do. But I went that direction with King, and even I just allowed him to open his own Instagram because I think that little dude is funny as hell. And not just that, we're teaching the world about autism at the end of the day. And that's not to excuse me, but I'll never get to a point to where it comes down to me selling King's innocent versus us being wealthy. It'll never come to that. All money ain't good money, and you shouldn't be taking all money out here, which is what these parents did. And that's why I feel like a lot of people say, oh, that's victim shaming and shit. Fuck that. Y'all are the ones that are responsible for protecting these girls. And although I do know that when we become teenagers, we may get a little wild, we may get a little rebellious or what the fuck ever, we still didn't ask to be here. So it is your job as a parent to try to get through to your child and figure out what the situation is. You don't just give up on them. And that's what a lot of you parents did. Some of these girls didn't have a fucking chance before they met R. Kelly with some of the parenting. R. Kelly made them feel loved. That's another thing. Y'all have to pay attention to your kids out here. It's a lot of us single mothers. We got to pay attention to our babies. Because I'm still sitting over here after watching as many videos as I did and doing as much research as I did. And I'm trying to figure out how it is that an 11-year-old ends up prostituting at that tender age. My son is 10, y'all. A couple of months from being 11. I cannot imagine him being out on the blade, as they call it, selling the most innocent part of himself just to survive. Where the fuck are these parents in this system? Y'all need to stop before you call CPS on people and really think to yourself, could this child prior situation really be bad enough for me to call CPS? Because going into the system is worse than being in the house with your parents. I somewhat understand where Trump was coming from now. Some of these kids get treated way worse outside the house with their parents than they do inside the house with their parents. Uh-oh, I lost somebody. I said something about Trump. Motherfuckers like, abort ship, abort mission. Some shit just makes sense. And if you mad at me for using my own brain or thinking my own way, then shame on you. You're part of the problem. Y'all don't think it's weird that people drop their kids off to 40-some-year-old people and leave them with them all fucking day long in a fucking studio by themselves? How is it that R. Kelly was, let me tell y'all something. At the end of the day, these whack ass parents need to be put in the forefront, and they need to take responsibility for the parts that they played in some of these children being messed with, y'all. And at the end of the day, I'm pointing my finger at the parents. R. Kelly was a known pedophile. It was known that he liked messing with little girls. There's a whole fucking video of this man pissing on a 14-year-old girl. The whole world seen it. And you motherfuckers mean to tell me that you still went and dropped your daughters off with this man that's known to mess with little girls. Did you not think it could happen to your child? And even so, okay, if you want to drop your, because R. Kelly made some good music for some of these young girls, and he made some of these girls into stars, the ones that he didn't keep for himself. But did it not cross your mind to ask your little girl, what are you doing with him? I don't give a fuck how mad you get about me being here at the studio session. I'm not moving. Until that little bitch hit that last note on that microphone, I'm not going no fucking where. Because I done heard about you, sir. Yeah, I believe you want to help her, but I also know that you have a problem. You touch on little girls. Everybody's mad at the big dog. But let's get mad at these people who allowed this bullshit to go down. There were a lot of people who allowed these things to happen to these little girls. And me personally, I feel like they need to be under investigation as well. R. Kelly ain't the only one y'all done help fuck with a little girl. Y'all done helped a couple of more niggas. That's why y'all so, it's normalized. That's why y'all so lenient. Where was all this fucking energy to protect Aaliyah while she was alive? Is what I want to know. Miss Aaliyah mama. Mr. Aaliyah uncle. Where was that energy at when this girl was actually going through this shit? There was no reason this girl should have had enough time to get pregnant by this grown-ass man. There are a lot of R. Kellys and there are a lot of people that enable shit to happen to little girls out here in our everyday communities. If it wasn't so normalized, R. Kelly would not have been able to get away with it. We put too much pride. We put too much motherfucking hope and all type of other shit. We hold celebrities on to a higher standard. We put them up on a pedestal. We practically praise these motherfuckers. And all we do when we do that is we feed them that power that they crave. Because I'm going to go as deep as to say some of these folks been messed with them damn selves. And now they have this sick thing in their head where they're no longer the victim. Now let me go and victimize some people. Pedophilia is the deeply rooted fucking agenda, y'all. Did y'all know that they're fighting to be a part of the LGBTQ plus? They're saying that they're the same as homosexuals, which means and homosexuals should be fucking offended because that means that they feel like, okay, this is a mental illness. They still feel like y'all fight for all these human rights and shit and talking shit to everybody else out here in the world that's not ready to accept homosexuality, but talk shit to the motherfuckers that you getting to change laws and shit. There is no real change. You have not transitioned anybody's fucking mind about who you are as a fucking person. They still feel like you fucked up. Y'all better attack the real issues before this shit get out of hand. The real issue is not homosexuality. The real issue out here is pedophilia. There are a lot of sick motherfuckers that you all have allowed forever and forever, even in our communities, even in the small hoods. There are grown-ass men and women who have been getting away with touching on little kids forever because black folks, for some odd reason, they just want, it's an open secret. How do you explain so many kids being able to be harmed in Jehovah's Witness? Huh? How about the kids that have been harmed in the Catholic church? I know that this morning show, I'm probably not gonna get monetized, but fuck y'all. I got other ways of getting monetized. So if y'all feel some type of way out there on Facebook or YouTube, oh well, y'all just make sure you follow me over to where all the extra stations and shit. Because I'm speaking to the masses this morning, and somebody not gonna like this shit. I used to feel so fucked up because I just felt like my grandma or my mama and them did not want to invest in my career. I want to be, but this shit is crazy out here in this entertainment field. A lot of times y'all be looking at these little girls that came up in front of the camera, like Rudy and what you call them. Y'all look at them, but y'all don't really realize how these girls have been passed around the industry. A lot of people get over it and move forward because they just feel like, that's just the business. A lot of people don't say nothing about it because they done seen so many other people be treated like that. They feel like this shit is normal. If I want to be famous, this is a part of me being famous. I just find it so fucking interesting that this has been ongoing forever and ever. It has been something that has been basically normal. Did y'all watch Nivea's interview with Candy? That type of shit was normal. They said it themselves. Back in the day, it was not something strange to see a little 16-year-old with a grown-ass man. It was an open secret. That whole protect the black girl situation, it's real. But black girls obviously aren't the only ones that need protection. Girls, period, back in the days needed protection. Now they've turned it on and they want our little boys. The world is sick of is full of sick motherfuckers. And just when you think they wouldn't, they will. Oh shit. Damn it. I know y'all probably tuned in to hear about all these other celebrities and shit, but I really once I got to the R. Kelly part of this segment, I ended up stopping there. There's so much to uncover. R. Kelly is not the only pedophile in Hollywood. R. Kelly is not the only known pervert. There are so many other men, and those men are way more powerful than R. Kelly. And that right there is scarier than a nigga getting off for peeing on a girl. There are people who are still out here, still actively molesting and grooming little girls and little boys. I feel like that falls on the parent because we should be protecting our babies. And we should not just be leaving our babies in the care of some strangers because they're promising them fame. It is what it is. Y'all gonna do what you want to do. You gonna believe what you want to believe. And even now, I feel like it's sick as fuck. A lot of you don't believe that R. Kelly could have possibly did this to these little girls, them little fast ass girls, them this, da. Shame on y'all. A child cannot think for themselves at no 16. I don't give a fuck. I honestly didn't have it together until 25, and I had to get it together because I was about to bring life forth. Even now, there are things that I'm still learning as a 37-year-old woman. I'm damn near 40, and I'm still learning things. And I said that to say, at 18, anything teen, bitch, you can't think for yourself. Hell, there's some 20-something-year-olds that can't even fucking think for themselves. You are still children. So this whole age of consent thing, I don't even understand that quite. Because did you know that in some states, all a bitch got to be is 12 to consent? We get so caught up in what's going on right where we are. We don't realize that there's so much going on around the world. I never understood where there were always jokes about cousins fucking with cousins from Arkansas. It's an open secret. Black folks ain't the ones that down. Well, let me stop. There I go trying to protect the black community. There are a lot of motherfucking ancestral cases in the black community where the uncle touching the niece, and he probably done touched the great grandniece, but everybody knows openly that this man he done touched all of us. It's an open secret. What stay in this house, what go on in this house, stay in this house. Fuck that. Start teaching your kids to talk. Start making them. That's why this Me Too situation has to happen. That's why R. Kelly has to be prosecuted. Because we need to learn to teach our children to talk and not to be afraid to talk. We need to start teaching our kids that ain't nobody supposed to be touching you there. And if somebody is touching you there, I don't give a fuck what they tell you. Because the first thing a predator tells them is, oh, I'm going to hurt your mama. If you tell your mama, then I'm going to kill everybody. They tell kids shit like that. When you young and dumb, you believe a motherfucker when they tell you they going to do some shit, especially if that's somebody that your mama or daddy left in charge of you. Open secret. It's an open secret that people take kids and fuck with them. And then when we have fucked up ass adults, you're looking at that fucked up ass adult like they're the problem, when the problem really is the open secrets that we keep daily. And I'm not just talking to the black community. I'm talking outside the black community. Because there were a lot of interviews where uncles and grandpas and shit, these white countrymen that fucked up these little girls, these little white girls. They are the reasons for Karens. Karen telling every motherfucking thing now because Karen never told how her grandfather got her pregnant at the age of 11. We're fighting a demon bigger than fucking motherfucking R. Kelly. We're fighting a demon bigger than the government. Matter of fact, it's even inside the government. Them nasty motherfuckers. Why y'all think that the Epstein is just disappeared? Whether he's dead or whether they paid him off to go somewhere to his island and be there, because there are so many people that participated in that man's sick paradise. We running around here screaming, protect the black woman. We running around here screaming, protect the black transsexual. Y'all better protect these motherfucking kids. Because these kids are tomorrow's transsexuals and black women and whoever else in this motherfucking new world. Protect these goddamn kids. Stop being so fucking lenient when it comes to your kids. They did not ask to be here, and the majority of the shit that has happened to them or will happen to them, they did not ask for that. Protect the black kids. Protect the children. Period. I'm so sick of color. Fuck color. At this point, it's not even about color. Protect children. A lot of people concentrate too hard on the slave trade. But so hard you concentrate on that slave trade, you don't realize that those were little kids. Pedophilia is deeply rooted. It's rooted deeper than y'all motherfuckers think. Those little girls, those women, those were not grown ass women. Them white men, them white masters and motherfucking these slave owners was raping. Those were little girls and little boys. Buck breaking little boys. Protect the children. Y'all love to say that they are the tomorrow. Well, protect them. Somebody got to stop tomorrow from being fucked up. Protect them. That's all I got to say this morning. I know that's probably not what y'all came for, but there's sometimes sometimes shit just don't go how you think it's gonna go. I love you. I want you to love yourself. Y'all have a blessed weekend. Y'all take care of yourselves. I hope that I provoke somebody enough. I hope that y'all know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. Share this on your feeds. The only conversations I have are the ones that are going to provoke us. Y'all have a good day. I'm out.
How you doing, bitch?
Welcome to Jocelyn's Cabaret. Your every desire will be fulfilled. Your wish is my command. I'm here to please you, baby. Do it like it's your B-day. Do it like it's your B-day. Do it like it's your B-day, baby. Do it like it's your B-day. Do it like it's your B-day, baby. Do it like it's your B-day. Do it like it's your B-day, baby. Do it like it's your.
Hey, May. I see you got on your May outfit like you always do. I don't blame you.
May
You got it
outfit.
clean.
I have on a t-shirt.
You got it clean.
Want your face to glow like mine? Well, look here, Niece. You're going to have to stop washing your face with the same soap you wash your ass with. For more self-love advice, watch Coffee with Kitty every Friday morning at 9 a.m.